Dawn,
Beff.
I'm
We
sorry. Who do, do I know you?
really, Heifer.
Yeah, I mean, oh my! Like, what do I owe this honor?
Oh my goodness. See, that's why I already knew. I already knew coming into this, coming back, swinging back around. I was going to catch some slack. So go ahead and continue.
No
Let it
slack
all
to
out.
be thrown for you to catch. I've I've missed you,
I missed you too, buddy.
so I'm glad to be talking to you and to all of our friends tonight. It's been a minute.
No, it really has. And I'd like to take this time to apologize because as before, this was all on me. Listen, life, adulting is for the birds. I'm truly over it. I don't like it. I feel like, you know how like you give your 2 weeks notice? Like I want to give my 2 weeks notice on adulting. But like, you know what? I really thank you for this opportunity. It was really
But
great,
at
but it
this
really
time,
isn't
I'm
for
gonna have
me.
to
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to bow out. Yeah.
To humbly decline the offer to continue adulting. So yeah.
It's okay. Look at you're
Uh,
still, but look at you came back, even though that could have been another reason for you to not come back tonight because I know you're not feeling the best. You could have said, "Hey, buddy, let's just put it off one more week," but you didn't.
one more. I didn't, and not that I'm not feeling good, but like I got this cough that continues, and nighttime, like when it gets into the evening time, is the worst. Something about like you know how the old folks used to say it's that night air. See, once the night air come, then that's what, and that's but it's true. Like as soon as evening time hits, I gotta start coughing. It's going around though. Like it has not only COVID, but just like not only COVID, but whatever it
Whatever
is
else
this
is in
like
the air,
I know
yeah.
some people have come out with cases, yeah, cases of pneumonia are rising, just this like whole upper respiratory sinus, I don't even know. So I feel like I'm in the category of it's just like upper respiratory. You know how I am.
Yeah, I know how you are.
You know me and my immune system, right? I need to be studied, but
That
I don't
you have the
think
immune
like
system of an amoeba.
don't make me laugh. I can't be laughing. But
No,
like
I
our,
yeah, I
our oldest, she had COVID, and so, but even during that time, we tested a couple of times. My test, our all of our tests actually, still came back negative. And then out of nowhere, it seems like I developed this cough and stuff, and it's I don't know, it's trying to take over. But again, I don't feel. I had one day where I was kind of like, oh shoot, like is this going the opposite way? Like where I wasn't feeling good, but it was just that one day. Like I'm back to, I feel good, like body wise. I don't feel like blah. You know how you sometimes you
yeah.
get sick, you don't have no energy in your body. It's just like I'm carrying myself. I feel fine, like I'm active. Da da da. It's just like
So you sound
this.
worse. You sound worse than
Yeah,
you do.
like, and you'll probably hear during this our time together. After talking for a while, I get really congested, and then I'll start sounding like the nanny, and it's going to be hilarious. But to try to clear some of my passageways, I do have me a libation in hand to clear all that out. So we'll see where this takes us.
And some things just don't change. They don't need to change,
Mm-mm,
right?
mm-mm. What they say, if it ain't broke, don't
Don't
fix it.
fix it, right?
So I ain't trying to fix nothing right now. I ain't no handyman.
I
No,
was like,
listen, I'm trying to make sure, okay, we are recording because the last time we thought we was recording had an awesome podcast and then realized we didn't tape one thing.
well, you just went out there for a little bit. I don't know if it was just on my end or on your end as well. I guess we'll see when we post this. But you
What's
went
the
out
last thing you
for,
heard me say?
you said something about the last time, right? You said, hopefully this time it's good because, and then it went out and you said the last time we didn't record
Oh, my
anything.
bad. So, well, what I was saying was, that, hopefully this time around, I was checking. I had stopped to make sure we were recording. I said, because the last time
Oh
we had
yeah.
an awesome taping, I mean, one for the books, and then realized we didn't record none of it,
Right.
which,
It was our best conversation ever.
like, seriously, like, I'm not even exaggerating. The laughs that we had, and then
Oh, that was
nothing.
that was. I'm sorry, we're friends were sitting there talking about it, and it was. I mean, we were dying. I think on that episode, and it
It,
was the first time we no, it was the second time I think we had done an actual video.
yes,
Because and that's what made it start off funny was because we didn't realize that it was going to be videoed. And
right.
so we started talking about it. Little did we know it wasn't videoed because we never pressed record. But we thought it. So we were surprised by the video that we didn't even have to be surprised by because it didn't video.
It didn't even record,
Right. Yeah.
man. Still hurts my heart a little bit. It still stings thinking about it, because the and being that we are not scripted, being that we are
Kind of off the cuff.
majority off the cuff,
Yeah.
first reaction, it's like we can't even repeat it. I really don't know some of the stuff we were talking about, but I'm telling you, it was a good time and it was funny. So that's what we just gonna have to do again
You
tonight.
had to be there.
You had to, yeah, you had to
And
be there.
unfortunately, friends, we tried to get you there, but we didn't quite make it.
You gotta be quicker than that.
Gotta be quicker. Okay. So what's
So what?
anything new? I mean, because I feel like so much has happened since we last spoke. I mean, it's probably been about not since we've spoke. I mean, we have spoken outside of
Right.
the podcast here and there, but I'm saying since we've actually had
Like the topics and stuff
the
that
top.
we talk about.
There were so. I think the Olympics had went on. There was.
Yeah.
I mean, we had started. We had teased the Big Brother season
Which that
and
has
how
started.
we started and halfway through. We had teased we were going to be on it and we were going to be talking about it. Kind of that kind of. I mean,
And we
we can still
can,
talk
because,
about it, but
yeah, there's a lot to catch up on, because would you say it's halfway through
yeah, it's
this?
definitely because they're at jury now, so it's definitely halfway through.
Okay, now let me first of all, let's back up. So if there are any Big Brother watchers and you're not caught up to and we don't like to usually say dates and stuff so as not to age the episode, but if you haven't even started or are only a couple of, don't listen, start turning it down, because we're gonna be saying some things.
And we
um
can hold off. We can like wait because I think that me and you aren't even in the same place. I'm caught up, all the
what
way
makes
up.
you think that I'm not, Beth? See, there you go, just assuming. Ain't you right? Ain't nothing changed. You just think you're better than me, and I just
Are
don't
you
appreciate.
are you caught up?
Nah, but
Okay, all
that's not
right.
the point. That's not. It's the principality. It's the principality of the matter, Beth. Like, trying to be smart. Don't ask me no follow up questions. I'm trying to make a point, Heifer. Catch the cues. Catch the cues.
So we can talk about it at a later date, and that way, maybe on the
Okay.
next podcast, we can. That way, we can make sure we're on the same itinerary.
Okay, I got you. Oh, you know what I do want to talk about?
What's that?
The presidential debate. Now, my first. No, I'm joking, y'all. I'm joking. Y'all know
Right,
me.
right. I was like, ugh, what? Record scratch? Excuse me? Excuse me?
I'm joking. I'm joking. Y'all know that's not even our MO. Nothing like that. It is something that is in the news, but we stay away from that. We stay clear. Um. Oh, what was I? Hold on. Oh, Beth. Well, first of all, this is how current we are. We're going to age the episode a little bit, but Rich Homie Quan passed away.
I know, Dawn.
And for y'all who aren't on that side of the music genre,
Watch
it was
this
a
dirt down in my
ooh,
pocket, had it like ooh ooh
ooh,
ooh ooh.
ooh, like he had one of those hits.
Got me screaming like ooh ooh
Oh,
ooh
ooh, ooh,
ooh. Sorry.
ooh. Like, you know what I mean. It's one of those. And anytime, honestly, I think of the song, and I don't even know if I know the song in full, but we used to watch those dance choreography
Mm-hmm.
videos. And Wildebeest, who is a well-known choreographer,
A
he
local, he's a
had
local guy. He's from Indianapolis.
he is a shout out
Yep.
to Wildebeest if this should ever pass your roadways or
Earlobes.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Wildebeest, he's a choreographer, and one of his choreographed dances he did to that song, and it was so smooth and just so when I think of that, we always try and do like some of the little moves we seen in the
Mm-hmm.
video. it, so that was one for those in the more mature audience and of music genre. I was telling my mom, I texted her because I'm like, did you hear that Frankie Beverly um passed away? And he's a singer. He was the front man singer of Maze. And the one that I always know, and my mom would have it on blast. One of my favorite ones was "Joy and Pain, like sunshine and
And,
rain." Like,
mhm.
yeah, like that. And that to me, that's
And then
culturally, that's the song you hear at like the family reunions and the cookouts. You know what I mean? When it's time to get down and jam, you gonna throw some maize on.
and then even
So
more recently, Beyonce sampled his song for her "Before I Let Go."
yes,
That
yes,
she used
she closed that generation gap
that
of
generational gap for the young people
yes.
who don't know who he is and the legend that he is and his music.
Right.
She
That
did.
is
She
true.
used
She
that
did. She
before I
sure
let go.
did. Yes.
So
Wow. I forgot all about that. That's crazy. So you know what I mean? Like him,
he had a very distinct voice. He had a very distinct voice.
most currently James Earl Jones, everybody's granddaddy. Mufasa himself
Say it
is
again.
gone.
Oh, I said say it again.
Say it
Remember?
again. Mufasa.
Mufasa.
Mufasa. Like James
Ah.
Earl, he had such a commanding voice. You know what I mean? Like that's the most
Darth Vader.
recognizable voice ever. You know what I mean? So, and they said he was 93
Hmm. He's been around forever. So
forever.
forever. So I mean, honestly, I knew he was getting older. I've been. Oh, this sounds weird. I've been waiting for this moment for a while.
That sounds
I,
a little dark, Beth.
I,
I am gonna lie to you right now. Like, wow. Okay, I've been waiting
I
for
mean,
him to die.
I
Like,
just
what in the
knew that it
world?
was. I knew that it was coming. You know what I mean? Um, he does the voice of "This is CNN."
Oh, does he?
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm not.
Like whenever.
I'm not grown enough for that.
Okay,
Um,
sorry.
the
Um,
only other person I know that's older than James Earl Jones is Morgan Freeman, and he's still
Morgan
Morgan.
Freeman is not 93, is he?
He might as well be because Beth, this man been around since the Dead Sea Scrolls, and I don't know, and still looks the same. So it's like I feel like Morgan Freeman has found the fountain of youth, and he ain't letting up off of it whatsoever. And he's watching his colleagues drop around him.
All
Morgan
around.
Freeman is
Working. He is booked and busy.
chronologically. He's a let me see, Morgan Freeman. He has to be a good 107 years old.
Didn't he play God in a movie?
Yeah, the movie with Jim Carrey, and he's like the voice of like 63% of documentaries about
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
Like, so if you've watched one animal documentary, you've likely heard Morgan Freeman's
I
voice, or
wonder what
even
it is
history. I
about
think
his
he does
voice. I
history too.
wonder if it's just like comforting or what it is about his voice because it's not like it's very very deep like James Earl Jones. It's
Right.
not like it's like that or anything, but they use him.
You
Um
know who has a horrible voice and who
uh-uh.
did not age well?
Uh-uh.
Jasmine Guy. Whitley from
Girl,
um
where in the world did that come from? Of all the
because
people in the world, I would have never thought that you said
no,
that.
because I'm serious. So for y'all that don't know, different world was it was like up there with the
It
Cosby
was a
Show
sitcom that
and
came on. It was one of those spin-offs from the Cosby Show. If you
exactly.
can remember the Cosby Show, they had an older daughter who is was Denise Huxtable, who was Lisa Bonet, who was married to Lenny Kravitz, and then went on to be with Jason Momoa. Sorry, trying to make it relevant for the
Listen,
youngins.
because I'm like, listen here, Ancestry.com and 23andMe. Like, you didn't took it down the whole family line.
Zoe Kravitz is her daughter. The young people
It's
should
true.
know
Who
who
is
Zoe Kravitz
currently
is. Dating
wrapped
Channing
up with
Tatum.
Channing Tatum. Oh,
Right, there you
can't
go. Had to
stand
make
her.
it all so that they could make it relevant.
Right.
She went off to college to Spelman University, and A Different World was about her college years at Spelman, and
Although she was only in like the first season, and the rest
the
was
first season. Then it just took on its own. It went on,
right.
yeah, took
But
off on
and so
its own.
Jasmine
But
Guy was Whitley, the Southern Belle, the the uppity
yeah,
Georgia Peach, and I mean, and Whitley back in her prime was like a hot ticket. You know what I mean? Especially
what
in
to
that
me,
role.
what was funny to me is that to me she always came off a little bit older than the rest of them anyway.
Oh, you think?
To me, she did. So it's not necessarily to me. I haven't seen her lately, but I wouldn't be
Oh,
surprised if she
Beth,
looked older. I mean, you said she
Beth.
didn't age well because to me, she always looked older than the rest of the cast anyway.
But Beth, I mean, she looked rough. I
Let me
mean, she looked
see.
DMX Rough Riders rough.
Oh,
Like
oh my! Does she?
she
Is she
rough,
sickly?
Beth.
Is she sick? Maybe
No, I think she just and more power to her. She's not one of those actresses that does a lot to
got
her
a lot of
face,
work. Yeah.
Botox and work like that. So
You know,
in
I'm
the
gonna have to look
natural
her up
sense,
now.
right, in the natural sense, she's aging, but I just feel like some people, and usually it's on the side of guys. I think of like Brad Pitt, Sean Connery, all George Clooney. The older they get, the better they look. For women, it sometimes just doesn't work out, and she's one of them. But her voice too. So I get it. Like in some TV shows, like I think of Urkel or Screech. They that's not really their voice. So I get that she's not going to sound like quote unquote, aka
Whitley,
Whitley.
right?
But like to hear her talk, I
What
mean,
she sound like?
she sounded like she swallowed her cigarettes. Like she not only smoked them, like she like when she
So
got done and down
maybe that's why she looks older, because she was a smoker or something.
something. But let me tell you something. If that's the case, instead of showing these tobacco free ads to scare kids, show
To
Whitley,
her,
show a clip of her in a different
her
world, and then
prime.
her
Hmm.
now. It would get me to stop smoking if I was a smoker because I'm like, oh no, I don't want that to happen. Is that
Maybe
what
she
happened?
was. I don't
Like
know.
it's
I'm not, now I have to look. I have not heard or seen hide nor hair from her, so I'm gonna have to look it up.
okay. So challenge number one after this, when we get back again, tell me what your thoughts on that because woof, woof. Oh my gosh, I gotta blow my nose, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm keeping it real.
Speaking of Brad Pitt, did we ever talk about my weekend with Brad Pitt?
Say it again.
Speaking of Brad Pitt, did we ever talk about my weekend with Brad Pitt?
Did we? I don't think so. You heifer.
It
How was your weekend with Brad Pitt?
was fine.
You stalker. Listen, friends. Beth had a weekend with Brad Pitt. He just didn't know she was there.
He waved. What are you talking about? He waved to me. I have a video of it.
He was waving to everybody, Beth.
Well, I was in the direction that he waved, so it was to me.
You dodo. But fill the friends in because I know why he waved to you.
At me?
Eye roll.
Yeah. Because he is going to be in this new movie. It's not the one I believe that's out now because I think he's promoting a movie. I think at some film festival in Italy,
Okay.
the Venice Film Festival. I think he was just promoting this movie with him and Mr. Clooney, George Clooney,
Did you see that
and
clip
so
of them dancing? Oh, they just so
yes,
fine. Sorry, babe. I love you.
they
I'll always
they
be yours. But oh, they so fine.
they aged very nicely, those two,
Yes.
and
Yes. Work of art. Go ahead.
and so he was shooting another movie that should be. I think it's going to be like an Apple TV movie, like
Which that's starting to be big. I feel like I'm almost tempted to get that subscription because Lord have mercy.
there's a lot of good stuff on there.
Yes.
Anyway, but it's about racing, and so the Daytona racetrack is up in Daytona, and so they were using that track to film part of the movie. Well, they
Okay.
also did some filming in a neighboring town of New Smyrna, which is where our friend Carly lives. And so Carly called me one day. She said, Beth, you have to get up here. She goes, Brad Pitt is here and he's filming at the diner down the street from where I live.
Literally
Like
down the street.
literally down the street from where she lives. She is like I go there all the time. She's like, and they are filming. We come here, and I'm not lying. It happened to be when I was in between jobs before when I had just gotten let go from The one company, well, I didn't get let go. The company that I left because I knew they were up to some
No
stuff.
good. Don't you
Um,
know no good?
before I started the current job that I have, I was in that little hiatus right there, and I was at home and I had an interview that day. And as soon as my interview was over, girl, I changed my clothes, hopped in my car, and she's like, "Too bad I didn't say anything and you didn't come down here." She said, "You should come down here." That was all she needed to say. And I changed the clothes, got my car, and an hour and a half to 2 hours later, we were outside that diner watching for Brad Pitt. And we were out there until about 11 o'clock that night,
Ridiculous.
watching them film the same scene over and over and over. I'm not lying. I was probably out there for a good 4+ hours, and they filmed the same scene over. So we saw Brad Pitt and Javier Bardem.
I like him.
We watched him walk out of the diner, walk back in the diner, do the same scene in the diner, come out of the diner, take off his jacket. I promise you, if we saw it one time, we saw it 150.
And look
And we
and
watched.
watch that won't even make it
It
in
won't
the
even
movie.
make it into the but there there must something happens in the restaurant because we could kind of see inside, and he stands up like we were like basically reciting the like we were
The
doing
script. Y'all knew the
voiceover for
script by
the
then.
right we were voicing over the scene and what was happening by the time it was all said and done because we watched it so many times. And we watched the extras walk past the diner, and what it was supposed to be, the diner was actually turned into a truck stop. It was
Oh,
supposed to be a
okay.
truck stop, or like for maybe the drivers or something. And it was so interesting to see because right next to the diner there was like a some other kind of like maybe like I can't remember if it was like a mechanics, like a shop next to it or whatever, but
Yeah.
they built a because it was supposed to be a truck stop and not a diner. They built outside of the diner what looked like showers for the truckers to be able to, at a truck stop they have showers where the truckers can stop and take a shower before they get
But
back on
not
the road.
outside in the public.
No, but they added on to the diner.
Oh,
But
okay.
the
I
thing
thought you meant
was,
like they built like just standalone
well,
showers.
what's crazy about it is that it wasn't even real. Like they did it so that it matched the diner almost perfectly, so that it looked like it was all one complete building, and just outside were the showers. But really, it was like particle board. It wasn't even real. But
Movie magic.
they made it look so real. And then, matter of fact, they had a shower scene. And unfortunately, we didn't see. I should say that
Right. Hold
we
on.
didn't
Wait.
see. Unfortunately, Bobcat, we didn't.
Unfortunately, Bob. If it was not zestfully clean.
But what we did see was Javier walk into the quote unquote shower area
Yeah.
with he was fully clothed, and it looked like there was steam coming out of it. So they did something with the modern magic movie
Movie magic. It's movie
movie
magic,
magic,
Beth.
modern movie magic. They did something to make it look like there was somebody in there actually taking a shower. It was really kind of like neat to see. Um, and then they also did a scene on the other side of the truck stop slash diner was the laundromat. And they were out, so they filmed some scenes in the laundromat as well. So it was just really kind of cool to see and watch
That's
it.
a cool experience.
And then fast forward to today, the diner, aka truck stop,
Yeah.
that they filmed everything in has now been burned down to the ground. No,
So much for movie magic. You are just a dark storm today. First you were looking forward to James Earl Jones passing, and now you then brought up our spirits just to bring them down about a fire. Like
it's
I don't
crazy when you drive past it now, which is still right down the street from Carly's house. It is a
listen.
pile of rubble, a pile of rubbish, and the AC unit is on the roof.
What you mean?
Like the entire air conditioning unit, like the central air unit that would be outside of a business, cooling
Yes.
the business, is on top of the roof.
Why is it on top of the roof?
Girl, because I don't know.
Because I don't know. You would never start an explanation just to end it. Because I don't know.
I don't know. The whole place is like it's in a big. So I imagine that the reason they haven't cleaned it up yet is because it's still under investigation because there was like yellow tape around, like caution
Mm,
tape around it. It's crazy. So to drive by it now, this was like a staple in this town. New Smyrna is not a very big town. It's a kind of a sleepy, quiet beach town, not very big. And on the main drag on, I think it's Dixie Highway, is I don't know if it's either US 1 or Dixie Highway, I'm not sure which one it is, but it is a main diner on the road, and
yeah.
it's old. It's been there for from what I understand, it's been there for a while. It was a family establishment, burnt down.
Man.
So
Hmm.
Carly and I, based off of what Carly is telling me this information, I'm thinking that of course that it was um arson.
Arson.
And what we do know
Oh
is that
Lord. Hold on. Beth got her private eye hat on, y'all. Dun, dun, dun.
what we do know
After
is that
interviewing a couple of witnesses, we've discovered that.
that I believe the owner of the restaurant, of the diner,
Hmm.
was given money by the production company, and this was filmed by Jeffrey Bruckenheimer. Is that
Yeah.
his name? So we saw him there too. He was there too. So
Oh, for
he's
real?
a yeah,
Nice.
he was the producer, director, whatever you call it. So um we believe, from what we understand, the diner was paid to, of course, to use their location,
Yeah.
and was given money then to compensate, because the diner was going to be shut down while they were doing
Right.
production. Money was given to compensate the employees who would not be able to work
Because there would be no
because
revenue coming in to pay them. Yeah, that makes
because right,
sense.
because the diner was being used. So people who needed shifts, who needed that job for for money, they couldn't work. They were out of work for that time period because it was being used. So to our understanding and to the best of our knowledge, they were compensated, the owners were, so that they could make sure that their employees were compensated, since they wouldn't be able to work. And from what we understand at this time, unless there's been a future update that I'm not aware of yet, the employer, owner, he did not pay said employees. He kept that money, and the employees who weren't able to work just had to take time off with no pay.
Oh my. So
So
you
we're
think this
wondering if
is
it
an
was a
inside
disgruntled,
job?
if it was like a disgruntled employee then, who was like, so you got money, but you didn't want to pass it on. So now we're going to shut down your ability to have money, period, to make money. I don't
But
know.
I mean, that would be to the furthest extreme. Only thinking, while you may have missed, let's say even at the maximum 3 days of pay, and I get it, you don't play with nobody's money. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying to take it to the extreme of to burn down a building where you could have continued making money the rest of the days. If that were the case, that a disgruntled employee took the matters into their own hands, that, I'm sorry, that was just a little dumb. Like,
Well, I will
like
say this.
break a stove. You know what I mean?
To
Break something that can be replaceable. Unplug the refrigerator and let his meat go bad. You don't burn down a whole building and affect everybody's job. That's
true
just
that,
irrational.
I got, but to that, I have a couple of things to say.
Is this more detective work?
This is not.
Oh, okay.
This is not detective work. My first reply to that is that, and this is nothing to take away from our dining staff, our waiters and waitresses who work very hard to serve the people of their
Oh
community.
Lord, hold on. AKA she about to rub somebody the wrong way.
What I'm saying is that you can find, not that they're a dime a dozen, but there are restaurants everywhere, especially in a beach town. You know what I mean?
Okay.
for for a server or for a waitress or a waiter. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's a chemical engineering job and there's only 5 in the town, and now you know what I mean.
Right.
It's a job that you could probably find another one. If you left that one, you could probably go down the street and find another one. A and B, people be crazy. So
Cray cray.
yes, does it make good sense to burn down, to cut off your nose to spite your face? Absolutely not. But people be crazy. So
People be crazy.
you know
Boom. Whoop. There it is.
there it is.
There it
Let's
is.
see. There's a couple other things that we missed over the past. I said I wanted to talk to you about the Olympics. That's long
Yeah,
gone.
that's kind of long gone.
No, I'm not going to talk
Other
about
than
that.
the fact that,
Even
I
though
mean,
I'm gonna tell you
Simone,
that track and field and the gymnastics. I don't know if you watch the track and field. It's my
yeah.
that's like one of my favorite like events. But it was, I mean, so exciting
Wasn't,
for
didn't,
to me.
didn't Shakari finally make it to the Olympics?
She did. She won.
Yeah, she was,
Well, she did the relay team won, and
yeah.
I don't think that she won the single. I could be wrong, but that relay team, the 4x100 and the 4x400, them ladies smoked, smoked. It was so
Wasn't,
good to watch. Oh, it was
wasn't that the
so
one
fun
where
to
she was
watch.
about to finish and your girl looked over at the
Well,
other one like,
that was the 4x100, I believe.
whoo, that was
That was I
something about
love
that.
track and field is like my favorite. And them late, I mean, they were gone. I mean, the not even that one. There was a I think that was maybe the 4 by, was it the 4x400? The
Don't give me the
lead,
line.
Dawn, the lead that the one that the I believe it was the American team, the lead that they had by the time they got to the last leg, you couldn't even see on the screen the second place person. That's how far ahead they were.
Mm.
I'm talking smoked. To me, I love track and field though. I love like the hurdles. I love the relays. I love the 100 meter and the 200 meter dash. To me, those are so exciting. But
Yeah. I just
um,
know I got chills. I was like, that's a bad girl to look over at the competitor and be like, got him, and
yeah,
keep running
so good. So good.
smooth, smooth. And
But
not to mention Simone Biles winning everything. I mean, what's new?
everything, everything. And she's such an itty bitty little thing. I
She
mean, itty
really
bitty.
is. She's a, what, 3'4"?
I thought she was 2'7".
Something like that. She classified as a little person.
She is
She's
tiny.
little.
And when they compared her, like her when she does her turns and how high she gets up in the air compared
Yeah.
to, it was like she was for her little body to be that high up in the air, it makes it that much more of a like phenomenon, you know.
But that's because she ain't got nothing to bring with her. Once she hits that vault
She's
board or whatever it
airborne,
is, it's
man.
gonna fling her.
Airborne.
But and you know what? I'm not trying. I'm like, I don't know how to say this. Hold on, make sure I'm not about
Uh-oh,
to
you know
say
what that
something.
means.
Yeah,
That's what you
hold
just
on.
say to me. I'm about to offend somebody.
Possibly. And I didn't got to the bottom of this can.
Oh my.
But like, she scares me a little bit.
Why?
Because like, have you seen her upper body? Like, she's very
Oh
muscular,
yeah, for sure.
and she's small. So like that combination like scares me. Like if she ran towards me, I would legit scream. And
Can I tell a story? I
we
don't know if I
so need to
should.
we so need to invest in those soundboards to where you hit a button and it plays a certain sound or certain music. Because like as soon as you said that, can I tell a story? I pictured the little like the twinkle sound like tell you oh,
I don't know.
I know the story. Please
Yeah,
tell it
I
because
don't
hold
know
on.
how to
Let me fit.
say it. I don't know
Let
how to
me
say it
let
without.
me. I got one swizzle of a drink at the bottom of this can. Please let me drink it in peace so I don't spill it out or spit it out. Hold on, just a second. Wait. Huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Proceed, because
I
friends,
I can
get
kind
your
of
girl. I'm
identify
gonna
with
tell you
what
that
you're.
right now.
What?
I said friends, get your girl, because I already know, I know the story as soon as you said it. But go ahead though.
Should I not say it?
No, go ahead, please.
Why do you want to get me in trouble?
It's not getting you in trouble. It's just really a funny and good
I don't
story.
know if it's funny or good because it might make me sound like a not nice person.
You-
But it's just what
Listen,
happened.
this we're
It
still
is.
in season 2. If our friends have caught up and they know, they already know. It's not that you're not, but you just have some experiences. Please continue.
I say I identify with your feelings
My
of
fear.
that, of
Uh
your
huh.
fear,
Uh huh. Go
because
ahead. Tell them why.
one day I happened to be in California visiting my sister, and she's like, "Hey, you want to go to Venice Beach?" Absolutely. Let's go take a walk down Venice Beach. I don't know if you've ever been to Venice Beach before in California, but it is a beach full of a cast of characters. It is a smorgasbord, a motley crew of you will see all different types of things while you're there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Great if you're a sightseer of people like myself
And myself
and
as
you
well.
love to people watch. It is definitely something, a feast for the eyes. Okay.
Okay.
However, one day, or that day, we decided to walk down the beach, and out of nowhere, I tripped over something coming at me. And when I looked down, to my surprise, my dismay, my horror, and horror not in a bad way, but horror because I was unsuspecting, there was a guy, there was a torso on a skateboard. This guy was on a skateboard, Dawn. It was just his body. And he had no legs and just his arms and his body on the skateboard. And it was crowded, and he was coming in the crowd, and because I wasn't looking down, and next thing I knew, I felt like a boulder on my like a boulder. I tripped over a boulder. Because when I say that his body was massive, because he was so, like, his thorax area, his torso, he was muscular because he uses his arms.
Beth,
Huh?
no, you didn't just call it a thorax. Ain't that on a spider?
Like, I don't know.
I'm not sure. My cheeks hurt so bad right now. But
But
I'm like,
he was speeding down the beach, boardwalk, whatever it is, on this skateboard with just his body in his arms, using his arms to, like, propel him. And I wasn't paying attention, and he ran right into my legs, and it felt like a 50-pound, like, boulder. I mean, when I say it was solid, I mean he was solid. And it was the most weird feeling because it was a person that I tripped over. It was the weirdest.
oh, Beth, my cheeks hurt
Do
so
you?
bad.
I felt I didn't in my response because I wasn't expecting that.
What did you say, Beth?
I didn't say a whole lot.
I,
I
and if
just
it
was
sounds like
like,
I'm
I,
laughing funny, it is because I'm trying not to cough. Like once I start laughing, if I flare up and get into this coughing spell. But Beth, you're a dodo.
it was Dawn. How do you respond to that?
Excuse me, kind sir. I didn't mean to trip over your
Shut up.
thorax.
That's a whole nother.
I didn't. I didn't see your thorax there on the skateboard. My apologies.
No, I was like, I looked down, and it was a body. I'm not expecting to see a body on the ground.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the
It,
bodies hit the.
it was it was, and and I think somehow in there his arms got entangled, his fingers, I felt on my leg. It was just like the whole feeling of it all was just like a fluttering and heavy and a
Beth,
lot.
a lot.
A lot. So I get 100% what you're saying about
It just, yeah,
if her
it's,
body was to come towards you,
yeah,
it would
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
I no, like I'm not even exaggerating. It's up there with like my top. I'm sure I have many more. Top three or top five fears. My one about when an elevator door opens up, I'm going to see a dead body. Patterns. What is that? The trypophobia thing.
Trypophobia.
Yeah, and the other one is like swollen little people running at me. Like I just can't. I
Well,
can't. I can't.
imagine them skating at you
The thorax just all on the
on
bottom.
wheels. On wheels. Now, I don't want anybody to be offended by that story because I'm not trying to say anything negative. I'm just saying that was my experience.
Listen, I'm gonna call it like it is right now. If you're offended by Beth being afraid of a thorax on a
It was.
skateboard, stop the press and stop the show. Move forward because it don't get no better than that. I am so sorry. Hold on, Beth.
Speaking of fears, I'm sorry,
Oh
did you have something to say?
no, go ahead. Speaking of fears, what we got?
So, as I'm very extremely claustrophobic.
Yeah, our one buddy, she sent us the fear that you have, and I can't remember it now, but yeah.
Well, but as much as I am claustrophobic and weird about things like that, I am a big lover of all things like space. And
Okay.
I mean like up in the air space.
What does that have to do with being claustrophobic, though?
Because you'd
Like,
have to take a rocket ship up to space, and I'd be too afraid to get in a rocket ship, even though I want to go to space.
oh, okay, I see the connection, I guess, kind of. All right, go ahead,
Because
proceed.
I'm stuck in this. I'm stuck in the rocket ship, and if I get up in space, I can't get out. Like, you know what I mean?
But Beth, isn't a rocket ship? A rocket ship is kind of open, ain't it? I mean, it's
Mm,
not like it's a window seat. Like you got room to
I
float.
guess so. I guess so. I guess so. But what's leading me to this is that you
Okay.
heard about this the astronauts that are stuck up in the space.
Uh-uh.
Okay, once
What you
again, I'm
mean?
partial of a story, but there was a launch that happened, and
Okay.
the astronauts went up to space, and they can't get back down.
What?
They're stuck up there. Their spaceship, is that a spaceship? Is that what you call them?
Shuttle?
Shuttle.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah.
No.
Their shuttle is
Wait, hold on. No, back up. Did you say no?
no what?
Oh, I thought you said no, and then it was like, oh yeah, a shuttle. Because
No,
it
no.
made me
As I
think of
said that, that's not.
it made me think of the whole trade ship thing again, and
Oh
we was about
no,
to have a problem.
that was
Because I'm like,
weird.
I know for a fact that is a word.
Um, no, they could for whatever reason they couldn't get back down. So they're using so Elon Musk, who scares me.
Ain't he
Um,
a little? And
something.
I mean, just as like when I see his face and like just how he appears, he's something very creepy about him.
I feel like his whole Tesla company and everything, like the cars that he makes and everything. And have you seen those cyber trucks? Hideous.
Tell me
They're
why there's
hideous.
one here in this small town. I'm like, first of all, who? Where did you buy that to bring it to this small town of Indiana to drive it around? It
They're
sticks out like
hideous.
a sore
It's
thumb.
horrible. It looks like a school project, or it looks like a project that somebody finished, didn't forgot to finish.
That one, how the little sixth graders are like, "Oh, this is my car. This is futuristic," and that's what they would have drawn.
Yes.
Yes, most
Anyway,
definitely.
I think that Tesla, I don't think of it as a car company. I think that Tesla is a software company that makes cars. I think his whole premise, it's not about cars or anything else that he is marketing. It is all he's a to me, it's about software. And it's what he uses to track people or to track things and track individual and him getting your information. So to me, it is a he it's all about information collecting,
Uh
and
huh.
he uses the guise of a car company to collect your information.
Now,
Mm.
don't, Beth. Let's see. My.
What?
I mean, I'm kind of. I I want to see where you're going with this. However, if not everybody can afford that car in the first place and only a select few, like really what information are you going to get from 25
I
people?
mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but it's not a select few. There are so many people anymore who are buying electric cars, and a lot of them, if they're going to go electric, Tesla is the brand that they go with. There are a lot of Teslas on the road. I
It's
mean,
electric. Oh, you're saying Tesla. I'm
yeah,
thinking, okay,
the
see, got
Cybertruck
to the bottom of the
specifically.
can. I thought you were talking about the Cybertruck thingy.
No, I'm talking about Teslas
Okay,
in
just
general.
Teslas. Okay,
Tesla,
yes, okay.
that's his car company.
Right, right, right.
I I think, I mean, this car drives itself, which I
Have
don't
we learned
trust.
nothing from iRobot?
Which I
Have
don't
we?
trust. I mean, I see
Beth, you
people.
seen iRobot,
Yeah, I
right?
saw iRobot.
I
I
know you seen
finally
iRobot.
saw
I mean, I know
iRobot.
you synced it. I know you synced it. But specifically, but remember that scene when Will Smith was driving the car and then the robot, like the thing was like, "Oh no, you ain't going this way," and then the car started like trying to crash into the wall.
Absolutely, that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. So I think that the whole Tesla everything. I think that it's a software company. It's a IT company. It's an information technology company. That's what it really is. And then it's all about collecting data.
Well, it's
And
so funny
then
that you say that because
they
before
collect
we,
data by sell. What they do is they sell these cars that come, and that's how they collect the data. It's under the guise that, oh, it's a car company and it's all electric and blah 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 blah. But really, there's an ulterior motive there.
I mean, but how much information can the car get from you though, Beth? I mean,
The same amount of car information your phones can give the government.
not from the car though.
Uh, Dawn, you don't think that they tie your phone to your car?
But there's no point. They already got the phone. What's
I
that
don't
gonna
know,
do?
Dawn. I didn't think it all the way through.
Oh, okay. Then start with that. You gotta lead with that. Like, hey, I may be wrong. I don't know where I'm going with this. Just say that, heifer.
It's the
Like I'm
same
up
thing
here like,
with like, X and TikTok and
no, but it's
Facebook
funny that you
and all
even
of
say
that
that
stuff.
because before we hopped on with each other, I had what was I on? I don't know if it was Instagram or Facebook, but you know how the little advertisements come for like shows and things like that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You know, Oprah. And I don't think she even has her show anymore, but she'll do those special series.
Yeah.
And so it was just saying how she was. There's another one coming up here pretty soon where she was going to be talking with like the leaders of technology and stuff about the future of
Oh, I see.
AI.
Because she has Bill Gates, I think, on there.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like the dude, one of the dudes is like some um technological person for YouTube and like the creator of AI. Like I get it, and I always joke like, have we learned nothing from iRobot? But you know who I'm rocking with here recently, and who's like me and our friend, our buddy, my buddy coworker who knows the both of us. I don't know. I feel like I should shout her out because she listens and she's always giving us a hard time about some of our facts and things. So,
What
hey,
you talking
Jody,
about,
what's going
JD?
on? What's going on, JD? Jody? Um, we have the same common friend, Chat GPT. Have
Okay.
you used that?
I have used that. It's scary.
It is, but I love it so much. So, friends,
What do you
for
use
y'all,
it for?
I use it for cooking
Oh, do
and
you
for
really?
recipes. I do. So, just the other day, now, and you know me, I love to cook anyway, and I really am I call myself like a freestyle artist. I don't really measure a lot of stuff. I throw stuff together. That's just my comfort zone. And I'm a well enough cook that I can do that well. But I'm like here recently, I've been relying heavy on Chat GPT, and we've been having some good conversations. Just the
What?
other
Wait a
day,
second.
huh?
What do you mean you've been having some good conversations with him?
Like I'll ask it something and it'll tell me, and I'm like, oh, thanks for that. And I'm like, no problem, let me know if you have any other questions. And then like so let me back up. So the other day I put in it because you can ask it anything and it responds back, right? It'll give you what you're looking for. So I typed in, can you give me a recipe for a one pot meal, including, and I listed the items that I wanted in this one pot meal for a serving of six. Here we go with the congestion that I talked about earlier. And so I listed, I wanted this one pot meal to have orzo, Italian sausage, spinach, heavy cream, and white wine. And while naturally, I can make a dish out of that just freehand, right? But you know me, like when I make something good, and sometimes I'll post it and everything, and people are like, oh, how did you make that? I don't measure anything. It really is just by sight and stuff. So to be able to put this in there and it give me measurements on how to make this one pot meal for a serving of six, and down to like, step by step instructions. Saute this at this point, and it was just, I didn't have to go step by step because I know how to cook, and I was able to tweak where I wanted to. But it was just really cool to have this ability to like, hey, I got these ingredients, drum me up a recipe. Now I wouldn't suggest, like, if you don't have no idea how to cook, mm, it can kind of go awry. But if you already know and just want an idea, or like, what can you do different, it's so cool and fun. And the dish the instructions that it gave me for this one pot meal, are you still there?
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. It was just real quiet. The instructions that it gave me for this one pot meal, it came out so good. Family tore it up.
So
My
what was
little
it?
one
What was the
even had her
meal?
own bowl of it and tore it up. Like, it was really good.
What was it?
The one pot
I mean,
heifer.
but no. I'm saying, but did they call it anything, or did he?
Oh no,
First of
it
all, is
said
your
some.
chat BT? Is it a female or a male?
I don't know.
You haven't named it.
I have it, and I feel like I might have to make it a female, because if I in my head make it a male, then I feel like I'm cheating on my husband, because
Okay,
I'm
I don't
already
need to
in
do that.
love. So
Okay, I
it
don't need to
like,
do that.
listen, I'm already in love, so I don't want to have a relationship with Chat GPT.
Okay, okay, okay. So it didn't give it a name. It didn't
It
call it
didn't
anything.
name
It
it.
just okay.
It didn't name it, but I feel like it would have. Like, you know what I mean? Like, give this dish a name, and it would have gave me some options of what to call it. But it included everything: the orzo, the Italian. It was
I
almost like
love
a.
orzo.
I love it, and you know what's so funny? So L, my husband, for y'all who don't know or just joining us, everybody else, they know L, but L is not a pasta person. But orzo is one of his favorite. Like, I think because it's so
It
closely.
doesn't come off like pasta.
Right. It's almost like rice, you know what I
Yeah. Uh
mean?
huh.
So that's
Hmm.
one of those that he does not mind at all. And I mean, he loved it. But so it did the recipe. It had the orzo, the Italian sausage, the heavy cream. I deglazed it with white wine. Now,
That sounds wonderful.
to me, I took a lemon and I squeezed some lemon juice in there to brighten it up. It was just so good. And the shaved Parmesan cheese, it was so creamy and just, it was
Yum
comfort
yum.
food. And you know what I mean? We're getting into that fall weather,
Yep.
and
It's
uh,
fall,
uh, uh,
y'all.
it's fall, y'all.
Well, that's not.
So
See, I'm gonna have to think about that because I struggle. I struggle with making the same things. Like, trying to think of something new
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
make, unless I do like a Hello Fresh or every plate type of meal where they provide everything for me. So I
Right.
don't have to go and individually buy everything. I struggle with that. And
So
now all of
I'm
a sudden,
saying
my
use
husband
it.
decided that he wants to not eat meat.
Who?
My husband.
Nuh-uh. Oh
And then
Lord.
when I start talking about Mickey, he's like, "Well, I start talking about like what we could have for dinner." He's like, "Obviously, you're only thinking about you because I told you that I'm not trying to eat
What?
meat." And I'm like, "That's fine. I'm more than happy to try." I said, "Let's start out slow. Let's try some let's start out with like meatless Monday, and let's find
Okay.
a meal that we can start out one meal a week. Let's try it without meat."
Or like, oh, seafood. Does he do? Is it
No,
strictly
he
meat,
is
or is it
talking I think he's talking like no meat, like bacon. I mean, to me, bacon is meat, but it's not because it's like bacon.
really, like,
You know
seriously?
what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's not.
Right. So, I mean, anything. But my thing is, his idea of not eating meat and the meals would just mean that he's going to eat ramen noodles and uh
So it's not like
chips.
necessarily healthy replaced with
It's kind
vegetables. He just
of
don't
it's
want.
So it's kind of healthy because I think that he thinks that he'll feel better when he feels better. I think he thinks that he feels better, or he
Right,
says he feels better when he doesn't eat meat, and I can get that because especially red meat, it is to me harder to digest.
right,
And as he gets older, as we get older, as a black man, I, there's so many risks associated with being a black man to begin with, as far as health as you get older. And
right.
red meat does not help. It does not aid in the whole high blood pressure and high cholesterol and all that stuff. So I think that's what he's thinking about. That overall, it'll help him, you know, feel better, better. And not that he's
Yeah.
unhealthy right now, but he is. He has the diet of a 10-year-old boy. And so,
With all his snickety snacks.
yes. And I'm like, okay. I said, but okay, fine. W- You don't want to eat meat. Okay. So where are you getting your protein from? You've got to have protein. Like you've got to
Right.
find, if you're going to not do this meat thing and I'm going to try to like, support you or whatever, I mean, I'm going to try at least to incorporate it into some meals. The meals they have to be filling, because if they're
Right,
not filling, it's not worth it. They have
right,
to be balanced because you have to be able to get your nutrients from someplace. So it can't mean that we have pizza, cheese pizza,
right.
or mushroom pizza. It can't be that we're only having pizza. You're having it limits so much you can do, and he doesn't like vegetables. And I'm
Oh,
like,
well, hold
dude,
on
so
now.
what are you
Wait,
going to do?
wait. Back up. Because you going to tell him I said he going to have to pick a struggle because that's
That's what I'm
ridiculous.
saying. That's what I'm saying. And so he wants to get all huffy puffy and smart, and I'm like, well, so what are you eating? I said, where are you getting your protein? You've got I was like,
Beans.
you
Does he like
listen,
beans?
first of all, he said, I'll eat beans. I said, first of all, sir, you will not be eating that many beans and coming into my bedroom. So yes, he can eat beans, but you know how many beans you have to eat, how much beans you have to eat to equal the amount of protein you get from meat?
Right,
It's a
right.
lot of beans. He
That is a
doesn't
lot of
really
beans.
care for eggs. Then you can get some
High
protein from your
five.
eggs.
Got you.
You
Yep.
know what I mean? So it's like I think there's one of the green leafy vegetables that has is high in protein that he can eat, but he's not a fan of that. So I'm like, you've got to figure out a way to get some protein
Well,
because
Beth,
if
let me just say this. If you're looking for ideas, talk with our friend Chat
okay,
GPT. All of my friends out there, give it a shot. First of all, I remember when Chat GPT, just like with everything, when it first was going to come out, and I think you can pay for it. Like they have like the
yeah,
paid ones, but I got like the free one app. And it's just so cool. So, Beth, I'm saying like try it out. Say, hey, give me a recipe for a meatless meal that contains, and just throw out what
I
you're
don't know
looking
what even to
for.
put in there. I don't even know
A
what to
meat,
put in.
like you can do veggie wraps. Um, if you don't want to, now
Oh, and he's
I'm
picky, so
far
I'm like, let me do some eggplant. Let's have some eggplant parmesan.
or
I don't know.
spaghetti squash.
Yeah,
You know what I would do when I was in Philly? We weren't necessarily going meatless. It was just kind of like just trying some new stuff. Um, the veggie noodles, like straight up, like they would have the zucchini that was
yeah,
spiral,
right.
and I would do like an Alfredo sauce with that. That came out really
He
good.
doesn't like Alfredo sauce because he's not a big fan of cheese.
First of all, hold on.
Do you see what my struggle is? So what we're gonna have for dinner basically is a bowl
What
of
you mean,
cereal.
Beth? He
We
don't
can even
like?
have a bowl of cereal because he's not a crazy big fan of milk.
I feel like the aunt from my big fat Greek wedding. What you mean you don't eat meat? What you mean you don't like Alfredo? Who don't like Alfredo, Beth?
He doesn't. He's not like cheese in small portions for him. He's not like mac and
I don't
cheese.
know.
Mac and
I
cheese.
I don't know how to tell you this.
Mhm.
Your husband's an alien, and I don't want to scare you, but a man who don't like cheese, it's cheese, Beth.
I know. I
It's
know.
shit. It's Alfredo. You know how creamy, silky, smooth.
I
A
do.
scoop of Alfredo with even some shrimp over some. If you like L, oh, and which he figured out, so he doesn't like pasta. Well, like he's he's not a big fan of pasta. He doesn't care for like the thicker stuff like fettuccine. So
Right.
I was like, one time we were gonna. He's so sweet because he was like, "Hey, you want to go to Olive Garden?" I'm like, "You don't even like pasta like that," but he's always willing to try. He's like, I might find something." So when he finally broke down, because I just thought he just didn't like pasta in general. It's
The
sometimes just
thick noodle.
the cut of the
Right.
pasta, right? So I told him, I was like, "Well, then get angel hair."
Or
He loved it.
linguine is a little bit thin. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So he liked it.
He
Great.
loved it. You know what I mean? But for your man to be like, I don't like Alfredo. Hold on now, partner.
I don't get it. I don't get
That's
it.
like it's like sacrilege.
I
Like
know.
who and macaroni and cheese? What you mean?
I don't know.
Listen, I ain't trying to be funny, but even on that one alone, I might have to double take a look at the black card. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm
Pull it
putting it
back.
out
Pull
there.
it back. Pull it back.
I'm gonna have to check the date because hold on. What you
I I
mean?
I know. So that's what it is. So you know what he loves, what we could eat every time. He always wants spaghetti, but I make spaghetti with meat sauce because that's what makes it filling. So okay, we
That's
can have spaghetti.
no, back up. That's what makes it spaghetti. That's what makes it. If you, I'm sorry, friends, and our new folks, if you're joining us, if you heard by word of mouth, hey, what's going on? Thanks for coming. If you eat spaghetti with some sauce that ain't got no meat in it, you just eating. That's not even spaghetti. You eating noodles with some red sauce.
Right?
Like we're
And I don't think like, I feel like even if you added like some mushrooms in it to kind of give out, but he's not a crazy fan about mushroom. I mean, he'll eat some mushrooms, but not like I could eat mushrooms. I could saute
right.
me up some mushrooms and just like get me some baby portobellos and saute them in some stuff
Mmm.
and just eat them. Um,
Portobellos. What
but
you
so that,
he?
so
I need him to listen. I'm gonna
I
need him to
know.
write this down because that's
So
not
it
making sense.
restricts very much so. And then he wants to get aggravated with me because I don't know what we want to eat.
Well,
Uh,
your hands are tied.
right?
I'm even racking my brain right now trying to think. Well, what could you do? And if he's picky, because I was going to say earlier, excuse me. A lot of people are big supporters of that. What's the brand? Beyond is it Beyond Beef or
Meat. Yeah, I know what you're
Beyond?
talking about. Or yeah, yeah, Beyond Meat, Beyond Beef. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Some people are, I don't know. I was going to
the
say give
faux
that a try,
meat.
but as picky as he sounds, he ain't. Listen, tell him to stop acting up and just eat the daggone meat.
Well, I mean, he wants to turn his nose up to everything, and that's my whole thing. So, like you said, you have to pick a struggle.
Pick a
And
struggle.
so I'm like, okay, let's cut back on the red meat. But he, I don't want chicken. I'm like, oh Lord, have mercy. Okay, and I can eat chicken every day. I prefer chicken over,
Right. Now
that's
that's L. L is a if I were first of all, L is a I could make chicken, rice and beans every day and this man would love it. At, at first, at one point, like when we were first married and I was in Philly, like I'm like, okay, I'll make that a few times. I'm like, listen, if I make chicken, rice and beans one more again, we gonna have some problems, bruh.
and that would be
Like,
spaghetti. That would be spaghetti at my house.
oh my
That would be
goodness.
spaghetti.
Oh my goodness. And now, so okay, so he didn't want to do chicken. What about seafood? What'd you say about seafood?
He doesn't like seafood.
What you mean?
He doesn't even like fish that much.
When
You know
the
what he'll
next
eat?
tell him
He'll
I
eat.
said, and I know I'm gonna speak to you outside of this platform, but you tell him I said next time I see him, I'm gonna pop him in the throat because this is
Right?
just getting
No, kick him in
ridiculous.
the throat. Don't pop him. Kick him in the throat.
And you say he
Um,
don't like milk, so cereal is out.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like he'll eat a small bowl of cereal, but he won't. You can't really get full off of it because the milk is what makes it filling.
Right.
Um, he will eat salmon patties, and so
Like the
he's like,
homemade like salmon croquettes.
yes, so salmon croquettes. He'll eat
Okay.
salmon croquettes. But my thing is that's what he said. He said, "Well, we'll just have to make some vegetables and we'll have to start deep frying them and everything." I said, first of all,
Wait, hold on.
if you're concerned about your cholesterol and your
Right.
clogged arteries and everything, but he wants everything fried, and I don't try to fry. I don't fry very much at all for that very
Right.
reason. I'll fry some things, but I don't do a lot of frying. I might do a little pan frying, but like
Yes.
the fry
Yeah.
daddy don't make its way out the cabinet anymore. There's no fry daddy,
Mm-mm.
no fry mama, no
Listen,
deep
you know what?
frying.
Now that you say that, I can't think. I feel like, especially I always go back to Philly because I feel like in Philly, especially it was during the pandemic and stuff, so I did a lot more cooking during that time. I used to fry up quite a bit. I can't tell you the last time I fried something. And for me, my biggest thing is it's not even about the cholesterol and stuff. I don't like the cleanup. I don't know where to put my oil. I'm not
I
a
and I don't like the smell it
traditional.
leaves in my house for days. That makes salmon croquettes. It smells like fish for 3 days.
But see, I ain't got no problem with it. My house. I used to show up and you'd be like, y'all were cooking, weren't you?
Y'all was cooking fried.
Because
Yeah, y'all was.
I
What y'all
smell
fried
like
today?
all the
What y'all
kernels,
fried today?
7 spices, and seasonings. I have no problem. But to me, that's perfume right there. Like, yeah, you
I
smell that
ju-
Crisco.
it's all of it. So he was like, "We'll deep fry some vegetables. We'll get some fruit." I said, "What? We go deep fry the fruit? That's right. Come on, let's get some bananas and oranges. We're gonna go and dip them in
Stop.
batter, and we'll go deep fry the fruit too." I'm like, "Come on." So I'm at a struggle right now with trying to figure out
I'm cracking
what we're
up,
gonna
Beth,
do.
because no, he didn't say. Now, how you gonna give up the meat but deep fry everything? Like you, oh my gosh! But like, listen,
And he says he'll
listen. I'm
sweat
giving
it
up.
off. He'll sweat it
Look,
all off.
I'm giving up cigarettes. I'm gonna go to cigars because see, cigars you don't need to smoke as many as cigarettes. Because
Right. I don't know. I don't know the rationale, but I'm trying to figure out what I need to do. And
oh my goodness.
and real quick, because I'm crazy and because we never did circle back to the whole outer space thing. I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
how we got to food from outer space, but they're stuck up there. They're stuck. And Elon Musk is sending up, I believe, one of his SpaceX machines.
SpaceX. What is that?
SpaceX is Elon's Musk, like his rocket ships.
This man has rocket ships
Yeah.
that he owns.
Yeah.
How he get those built?
Girl, he owns SpaceX is like his company. Like that's his thing.
Like, is that like NASA
Yeah, like
or
they do
NASA?
they yeah,
Listen,
like well not
NASA.
Nassau, but is that like the Bahamas?
Is that
Um,
like
yes, he does rocket launches all the time. I can see him from my house sometimes.
that's him?
Yeah,
Where is he?
I
Listen,
told you.
Beth. What I'm trying to figure out is at
What?
the start of it all, where did he get? At the
If you
start of it
ask
all,
some
where did he get
people,
all this money from?
well, I think first of all, I think he's a nepo baby.
What's that?
So you don't know what a nepo baby. You know nepotism. You ever
Yes,
heard that term?
yes.
But what I'm saying is that he came from money.
Why couldn't we come from money, Beth?
I don't know, Dawn,
I mean, like,
because
you know what I mean? I'm just
it
trying to get on
wasn't in
auto
the.
pay. And that's all. I don't want
I
Elon
know.
Musk
I
money, but
know.
like,
I
yeah,
say it's good that because I feel like sometimes having too much money, people don't do the right things because it
right,
makes them think that they can do whatever they want and they can't.
right.
So it's a blessing.
But good googly,
That's what I
like
say.
I'm just all I think about is that episode of Family Matters when Carl Winslow went back in the future and left himself a note of like the stocks to
So
get into
I
and
know.
stuff.
I
I
know.
would do that. I wouldn't do like a whole bunch of them. I just do like 3 major ones, and then that's it.
Right?
Because I just want to get on auto pay.
Just
I just,
auto pay. That's all I'm
that's
asking
all.
for. I don't have
That's all.
ask for a lot.
I don't want a spaceship.
Well, this
I mean,
man
I
is
want to listen.
sending.
I want a yacht, but I don't want a spaceship. That's
He
all. I'm
probably has one of
humble.
those too. So he's sending up one of his spaceships to bring down. I think they already did it, maybe to bring down the one that was stuck up there that was orbiting or whatever that they couldn't get
And it
down.
had people in it. How many
No,
people?
the people are still up there, I believe, and they don't know when they're coming home.
How many?
I'm going to research the story and get you facts,
Because
and when
you be coming with some missing stuff.
because I am
It probably
probably
wasn't even
telling it
people,
all
but there was probably
wrong.
some chimpanzees or
But when
something.
I come, oh, I have a story about monkeys too. There's a monkey story. There's a monkey documentary, I believe, on
Chimp
Netflix.
crazy?
Is it about it's like by the same guy who did Tiger King?
Chimp crazy. The lady though.
Yes, and she breastfeeds him.
Oh, I didn't know that part of it. I seen the commercial for it. Shut up, Beth. Beth. Are you
And you
serious?
know I'm all for breastfeeding, but this is taking it a little bit too far. I mean,
What?
I'm all for it. I said when I had my kids, I produced so much milk that I could have fed the neighborhood cats and all my children. I'm all for the breast milk, all for it. But this is a little bit too much.
Nuh-uh. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I
I
keep
told
seeing
you
it on,
what
I
I
think
tell
it's
you at the
HBO
beginning. What I tell you at
Max.
the beginning of this episode.
What?
People be crazy.
People be No, she don't.
People be
Can't you?
crazy.
Wow. Okay. Okay. On that note,
We didn't talk about
I
a whole bunch of stuff. But I
listen.
okay, so the next time we meet again, I will have my facts straight about this whole thing because if I'm not mistaken, those astronauts are still up and they're still up there somewhere. And that's the
Okay.
part that would make me nervous about going up in space. As
Well,
claustrophobic as I
yeah.
am, and then like I would be afraid something would go wrong.
I
But
mean, but Beth,
I want to see it so badly.
but I mean, in that instance, that's the only time like you sound normal. Because I feel like anybody would feel that way. Like that's a natural fear to be stuck up
Right?
there. Like in that sense,
Or
yeah.
something would go wrong. Yeah, I feel like something would go wrong, but
I know.
yeah.
Like remember how like they be blowing up when they?
Remember the
I can't think about.
Challenger? Were you in school when the Challenger exploded?
What year was
I have no idea. I was in elementary school, so you
that?
probably weren't
Born.
in school. Keep laughing.
I
Keep
can't say.
laughing. I hope you
Okay,
choke.
you know I'm trying not to. Okay, my bad. But no, I think no. If you were
Well,
in elementary school,
I mean, it was a huge thing. I can't remember what grade I was
yeah,
in. You were probably alive, just maybe not in school yet. But you were born in the 80s, right?
yeah.
It was in the 80s. I can't remember, but it was yeah, it was a big deal because one of the people going up in space, her name was Sally Ride. She was a school teacher. And I
Mm,
remember all the kids, remember they used to have like the AV days and like they would bring the
yeah,
TVs on the carts and they would come in,
yeah.
they'd roll them into the classroom. And the whole school, every classroom was watching it because it was a big deal. And they were
Mm.
setting them up and right before our eyes, girl, the Challenger space shuttle went up and it exploded,
Listen, traumatic.
right? So
Ooh,
anyway, I love space. I love looking at stars. I'm enamored by just like astronomy and all of that. I love it. Um,
enamored. Oh, there she goes. Fancy words. I'm enamored. I'm enamored.
I can't stand.
I'm just enamored by the fact of the sheer space and multitude of the stars. Oh, whatever, Beth.
I have no rebuttal right now, but I will come back. I will. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh,
So
shoot.
I will have my facts for you, but yeah, they're still I think up there. And
That's
have
crazy.
you heard of Starlink?
Mm-mm.
That's another one of Mr. Musk's thingamabobbies. It is a satellite that's in space, and that you can use that. Like if you live out in the country and you say you have problems with getting Wi-Fi,
Yes, I have. Yes. Is it Starlink?
Starlink, I believe that's what it's called.
Yes.
Supposed to work anywhere, everywhere.
Right. Yes.
That's his.
Oh, get out.
Mm-mm.
This dude is just ever, and he's a creeper. Like,
And he's got a kid named Artaxerxes.
what?
You know his kids have the name XQ200F.
Are you playing with me right now?
You know he has like 16 children. Him and Nick Cannon are like
And
vying
Eddie Murphy.
vying for father of the year, and the last two kids that he named, they were symbols.
No, that we're not. Beth,
I
stop.
think you pronounce their name. It sounds like it's like the name, like
Uh-uh.
the sound of the of when you used to do dial up for internet. That's how you pronounce his
Stop
kid's name.
it.
I'm not lying.
You're gonna be making me. I'm not gonna be able to go to bed on time because I'm gonna be googling Elon Musk and his crazy ways. We gotta
He's
end this. It's good to be back.
all right. I'll follow up next week.
All right, friends. Thanks for
I
holding
hope
out
that it
for
was. I
us
hope that they it was worth the wait because this was a little bit all over the place today, like it always is.
but I think that's what they look forward to. And like I said, we had some
But
awesome
there was more I wanted to
supporters.
talk about, but we'll get to it. I'm sure. I'm
Again, yes.
sure. Yep. I'm sure we'll do this again.
But what I was saying was, we had some awesome supporters that are like really looking forward to our podcast and being like, where you guys at? What's going on? So
Well,
definitely
we
appreciate
appreciate that,
y'all.
friends. So make sure to tell your friends about it. If they're not our friends and they're your friends, tell them about us so we can all be friends.
Boom. But like not in the P. Diddy sense because that's
No.
like a whole thing right now. But no, but like
Oh,
in the like this is how we do it, like that sense.
really?
Yeah, I think.
How about that's what friends are for?
No, who's that? Who is
Well,
that,
what
Beth?
does that song have to do with friends?
Cause it's like it's a party. This is how we do it. Yeah, that's much better than that's what friends are for.
It is, but I'm trying to think of another one.
You
Uh,
can't. You
I'll
can't.
be there for you. I hate
Uh
that song. I
uh.
hate that
Uh
song. Let's see, what's another one? How about
Thank you for being a friend.
all right, how about tell me again?
Uh. That's That's not that kind of show, Beth. That's not that kind of party, Beth. I am up here ripping off my nails. My like nails that I got done at the salon. I'm gonna have to get a whole new set or just like not do it again.
Why? Why are you ripping
Because
them off?
because I am a picker, and so as
Mm,
soon as the edge pops up, then I get
you're
my nail
done.
under
Yep.
there. I can't help it.
Yep.
it,
Yep.
it I'm a picker. I pick off labels. If anyone needs wallpaper down, call me. I love it. I love it. All right, friends.
All right, friends,
Y'all,
like, subscribe, share.
we're back
Leave us a
again.
review. You know what? We should leave us a 5-star review.
Oh, there you go.
Even
Yeah.
you can do that on Spotify. You can do it on YouTube. You know what? Even if you don't like us, you can say all the mean things you want to about us, but just leave us a 5-star review.
Wow. No, not inviting that energy. If you don't like us, don't leave no comment because I'm gonna comment back. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I hurt feelings. No, I'm
Leave a
playing.
comment, but give us 5 stars.
That's it. That's our cue.
All right,
Well, it's been another great episode of I Ain't Saying.
but I'm saying
Did you forget already, Heffa? Like,
no.
what was
I
the
was
hesitation with
pausing.
that?
I was pausing for effect.
No, there was no need for the name of the. Do it again. So, friends, thank you for joining us for another great episode of I Ain't
But I'm
Saying.
saying.
I can't send this Heffa. We out. Bye, y'all.